Alright, welcome. In this video, before we wrap up DOM manipulation and event handling, I just have like 3 more events I just want to introduce to you guys. So I just call them extras. Don't mind me, nobody called them extras about me apart from me. So just like a bonus event I want to treat in this series before we call it a series on DOM manipulation and event handling. And the first event I want to treat is what I call the focus event. So most of the time, application that I've worked on previously and I've seen people work on, they use focus on stuffs like this. So let me show you on focus event. So I might have an input tag here. So let's say this is a text, for example, and let me just give this an ID. So instead of me giving it an ID, I'm going to give it an attribute called onFocus. So this event is called onFocus. So onFocus, I wanted to link to a function. So let me call this, let me just call it my function, for example. I'm running out of names. I call it my function. So I create my script here. So I create my script here. So under my function, so I say function. Look at what it's saying. I'm going to say function, my function, right here. Then I bind this with this. So what's going to happen on focus is that I want it to increase the length. So let me just run this. So if I run it right now, this won't get. So you must have seen stuff like this. And once we click, we want to start typing. So I want it to increase the width of the form elements, right? So let's see how we're going to do that. So now on focus, I'm going to track it on focus. So on focus, I'm going to say, let me have an ID of this element. So let me call this ID. Let me just call it, give it a search ID, for example. Then I'll see documents dot get elements by ID. The ID is src. Maybe should be text. src dot inner HTML, not dot inner HTML, dot style. So I want to change the style. The style dot width is equal to, let's say, 400 px, for example, right? So I'm changing the width on focus. So you see what happens is that on focus it increases the width. You see that on focus it increases the width. So on focus the width goes to so I take it out. Let me show you another one. It's on key up, right? So let me just say something like div here. Let me call this key up events, right? Key up event, yeah. So let me create an input element here. Text as usual. Let's say the ID. What should we give the ID now? Let's call the ID rights something. Then so give it on key up now and see that on key up. Yeah, that's an event. So let's link it to this my function. Say my function, and so this is what will happen on that. So I'll just comment this out. Then I will see. So on key up, what then happens on key up? I want to get the value and paste it somewhere else inside a paragraph tag. So let me create this like this. Let me give this an ID. Let me just call this ID output, right? Yeah. So whatever thing will be typing here. So what I want to do is, so this is it basically. So what I want to do is that whatever thing will be typing here, it should be appearing inside that paragraph. So what I'm going to do, the first I'm going to do is to get the value of what we are typing. So let me say like variable text now. Variable txt should be equal to document dot get element by ID, and the ID is right. Then dot value, of course. So I'm getting that dot value. So I'm going to write it inside the output now. So I'm going to say documents dot get element by ID output, then dot inner HTML equal to txt. Exactly. So this is what we're talking about. So you see that? So that's how it works on key up. So what it does is that once I type, anything I type here appears inside that. So you see XANUEL AGBO Linus. So anything I type here, in fact, just appear inside the paragraph. So probably I can do something like you are typing on this. I create this like a spam something, and just copy this ID now, put it inside here. So you're gonna say clearly. So anything I type here, you are typing this. Typing Obi is a boy. So basically, so that is the on key up event. So another one that we have is the on change event. So even this on key up event, if we like, we can change it to on change, right? So we have on change event. A change event is that once the value is changed, what should happen to it once the value is changed. So anything you want, you can do it like that. So on change event is another one. So on change event is another one. So it's not working except the value is changed, right? Until I click outside. So that's how the on change is. But basically, we don't use the on change event on stuff like this. On change event is normally used on select items. So on change event, until you click outside, you see the change takes effect until it's outside it like this. Wow. Why this is on focus event? Why this is on change event? So basically, so I've taught you 3 extra events that you can look up on: the on key up, the on focus, and the on change events. And I hope you have fun developing your front end using this event and manipulating the DOM. So have a wonderful time learning JavaScript, and I hope you get better than JavaScript. If you have any question at all from the series, do endeavor to ask me questions, and I'll endeavor to answer you to the best of my ability. So help me God. So have fun coding.